Howdy, everybody. This is elevator video number 3 for how to build a Vans RV-14A aircraft and take none of what I say as actual expert advice. Just FYI, fair warning. I am guessing as I go. So this is me working on there's a little like a push arm that hooks to the trim tab um, on a little motor, um, and that's what I'm working on here is that little trim tab push bar thing, getting it all situated and ready. You kind of squeeze, I don't know, I think it's 3 pieces of pretty thick aluminum together, um, kind of make one piece there. I'm just making it look pretty there with the deburring wheel. I did notice that I have the time up in that video. I don't know how that happened. Me not being a plane builder, I'm also not a videographer, so I have no clue how I turned on the date and time on my video recorder. But it's up there and it's wrong, and I also don't know how to change it. So I'm gonna have to figure that out this week sometime. So that piece is the elevator, um, the rear piece on the elevator, the trim piece that goes at the very back of the elevator. The elevators are kind of interesting because the trailing edge of the elevators isn't what you would expect. It doesn't come to a point. It actually flares out a little bit, which I found kind of, I was kind of shocked, but I was like, oh, okay, that's kind of interesting and neat and weird all at the same time. That was my daughter that just went in. She got back from school. You'll see the other kids show up here in a little bit unless I cut them out for some reason. It also has you kind of file down the edges so they fit in the fiberglass. So that's me filing down those edges. So it kind of fits inside. When that and the skin are together, they should fit with the same. They should be the same width as the fiberglass piece that ends up on the end of that tip there. Then I'm just going to clean stuff up. All of the stuff comes with like little stickers with the numbers and stuff, and so you write the numbers in, Sharpie on the piece, and then you got to peel the sticker off. And there's always gummy stuff on that garbage, and it just irks me. So I clean it off. There's some acetone and a rag. It comes off pretty easy once you get it situated and going. So while I'm cleaning that, I have a joke. I have a lot of jokes about retired people, but none of them work. That was funny. I like that joke. My parents happen to be retired, and they don't work. No, my dad actually does come and help me work on the plane, so that's kind of nice when he does that. And we are, this video will come out way after this event happens, but the EAA is having like a garage sale, a hangar garage sale out in Chandler this week. So my dad and I are actually going to go to that, so that'll be pretty fun. But look into those things. If you're looking for tools or you're looking for people that have done it before, the EAA chapters, sometimes they have events. They'll have breakfasts, or they'll have fly-ins, or they'll have all kinds of stuff. So check your local chapter of the EAA, and they'll have a list of events that come up. So that's pretty cool that they do that kind of stuff. And you can find some actual experts, not me, but actual experts that know what they're doing when they're building airplanes, and you can ask them questions. So that's pretty cool. So this is just putting on the horns, the elevator horns. They're big metal pieces that are powder coated. They fit on the edge there. You'll eventually strap a wire to them that'll go up to your joystick in in your cockpit, and that'll be your elevator control there. It hooks on the bottom of those horns. I've tried to leave the blue plastic stuff on as long as I can, just because it protects it. And you have, I mean, I'm sure it's not a big deal. It's all going to get scuffed up when it gets painted anyway. But while it's on the desk and I have shavings from when I've drilled stuff out, and you're moving that stuff across there, it just avoids some of the scrapes that it gets. So I try to leave it on. You'll notice later in this video I do eventually take it off because I have to do some other things to it. But so here's the other horn. So I have one workbench with one elevator, and that is a 5.5 foot long table bench right there, just FYI. So the elevator is that big. So be prepared for that. And it is pretty thick metal on that horn there, but it fits pretty nice in there on the elevator. The engineers at Vans are phenomenal putting that stuff together. It's crazy how well it goes together. That is what I'm working on now is the hinge, the piano hinge for the trim tab. You'll notice I have I don't know what I'm doing now. Oh, what I'm doing now is I'm marking places where I need to bend some stuff or cut some stuff or where stuff kind of fits, because I'm going to be taking it apart. The instructions say, hey, mark that stuff so you know where it goes. Then I write on that, and it's kind of funny, and then I pull oh, and here's the trick I learned. I think Andrew Kilroy or Jason Ellis Builds, I forget who had the little trick of using like a broom pole to get that bluing off, but that's a fantastic little trick for getting that blue stuff off. It works really well. It's really easy to get off, so highly recommend that. And I forget, give credit where credit is due, is I did not come up with that. I think it was Andrew Kilroy or Jason Ellis Builds. I forget where I saw it, but that's a fantastic trick. Might have been Austin Mankey. I'm not sure where I saw it, but it's a great little trick there. So that is the trim tab I'm working on now. Getting the trailing edge piece that goes in the trim tab, and it's the same trailing edge that goes in the elevators. It's just a cut piece of it. And then that is the front part of the trim tab. Kind of fits in there. And what they have you do is they have you fit in the little styrofoam pieces that go inside the trim tab. And then what you're supposed to do is fit them in there, make sure they fit right, and then it'll have you mark them out in a later step so you can scuff it, because you're going to eventually use some tank sealant and seal those guys in there. But you have to make them fit right first. That's why the sandpaper's out. And I use the sandpaper on the back, that steel plate there, because I know the steel plate is perfectly flat. And on those little trim tab styrofoam pieces, the cutouts, I had it sanded exactly to the cutouts, but those were still a little bit thick. You have to kind of make the line go away to make it fit right. So you don't go to the line, you make sure the line disappears, and then that's the correct size. And I was, as always, you're a little bit standoffish at first because you don't want to take too much material off. But yeah, you do have to remove the actual lines on the paper to get them to fit right. They are exact. Then this is just me putting the trim tab, kind of pleating it together. Making sure I'm doing things right. And I don't put any of this stuff together right now, just FYI. There's a lot of prep work. I did actually decide to prime the inside of the trim tab just because it's probably going to get wet, and I just wanted to. I live in Arizona, so it's not a big deal, but you know, half dozen one six the other, I guess. I decided to prime it, so that's where I'm at with it. That's pretty much it for this video. As always, if you have any questions or anything I can do better, please let me know in the comments. Talk to you later. Bye.